Very good evening, friends. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. Today, I am going to be speaking about the probable amalgamation between Lakshmi Vilas Bank and DBS because that information came in public domain today night. And this is first part of that sequence because as the time progressed, on our YouTube channel, you can clearly see that there is much information which we provided as far as the Lakshmi Vilas Bank is concerned. Now, before I move to Lakshmi Vilas Bank, I would like to tell you something that according to a statistics which is published in Bloomberg Quint, it is said that according to the draft scheme of amalgamation put up by the Reserve Bank of India, the merger will result in the entire amount of paid up capital, reserves and surplus of Lakshmi Vilas Bank being written off. As we understand how to read the bank balance sheet, it is really scary because it means that for a while DBS buy Lakshmi Vilas Bank, then whatever the losses Lakshmi Vilas Bank right now, and by the way, Lakshmi Vilas Bank is in losses. We know from the last 10 quarters they are reporting losses. They are extremely short of capital. It would be set off against the paid off capital, reserves, surplus of Lakshmi Vilas Bank. That essentially means the shareholders will lose the complete value of the shares they own because the write-off in the paid up and reserves and bank equity will go down to zero. That is really very scary. It means that tomorrow when the market open, there would be sell-off in Lakshmi Vilas Bank, which means that if you are a shareholder of Lakshmi Vilas Bank, which practically means that if that merger happens, which means that the value of your shares would be zero. But I have never heard any kind of banking arrangement in such a way when the valuation or the shareholders would be zero. And by the way, I have another question to ask because I got some data. You know that we only talk with data. We only cover data. The public shareholders include 93.2% of the Lakshmi Vilas Bank. So the public shareholder it around 94%. Take 93%. And rest 7% is held by the promoters. And the 93% of the public shareholders include foreign portfolio investors to the tune of 8.65%, insurance companies 6.4%, LIC, out of insurance company, LIC is around 1.62%, retail shareholders is around 24%, HNI shareholding is around 23%, other entities hold 30%, including Indiabulls around 5%, SREI Infrastructure around 3.34%, and Prolific Fininvest Private Limited around 3.4%. Under the merger plans, Lakshmi Vilas Bank will merge with DBS Bank India, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of DBS Singapore. I fail to understand. I bank with DBS. I know DBS very well in India and Singapore. We are Singapore-based company. How come DBS get 2,500 crores? How come DBS get 2,500 crores? Excuse me. I am right now looking at the Reuters screen and we cover STI index, which is State Time Index, every day. Guys, DBS in the last 10 years, having the highest share price of around 30 with the lowest share price of around 12 rupees, 12 Sing dollars. This is DBS. And by the way, forget DBS Singapore, which is practically a government of Singapore bank. Let's talk DBS India, guys. DBS India reported a net profit of 14.5 crores against a loss of 533 crore a year ago. As other income increased by 31% to 388 crore. Net interest income also increased to 20%. The loan book increased by 135%. I really don't know from where the DBS will get the money of 2,500 crore. DBS India is not in a position to get the money. 2,500 crore is not a small amount. Maybe they would be raising the money using their treasury function. That is a separate thing. But as of now, if you look at, and more importantly, DBS is not a profitable bank. And why DBS? That's more important. That's more important. You know, this reminded me a story. And what is that story? Two people were walking on streets. Out of two people, one is a very richer man, like we are having founder of Amazon, Mr. Jeff Bezos. And other person is okay. They bypassed I would say a car showroom, say any car showroom, I don't name any brand. And it's a costliest car showroom. Both went inside and the dealer said the value of this car is around $2 million. Example. The first person, the founder of Amazon, Mr. Jeff Bezos, he was as equivalent to the wealthy of that person. He said he is not interested. He step aside, he step out from the store and start walking while his friend bought this car. And to him, $2 million is a big amount. Maybe he can afford at once $2 million, but apparently speaking, $2 million is a big amount to him. I think India is having many banks like Kotak Mahindra Bank, HDFC, ICICI, Axis. Disclosure or no disclosure, that is separate issue. But I think they are well capitalized to buy a bank by investing 2,500 crores. And guys, do you know that capital adequacy ratio of DBS India is around 19.7%, which was 16.14% because 1,300 crores of capital was infused by DBS Holdings in December 2018. We know Singapore very well. So I covered Lakshmi Vilas Bank in detail, even when it was under discussion with Clicks Capital, and we were, after reading a lot of research, during doing a lot of research, in fact with short video also, we were aware that the indemnity issue is a big issue. And ultimately we projected, and the same thing happened, Clicks is not going. But why DBS, that I'm not getting. And by the way, the way DBS function, LVB don't. And the most important thing that is really, guys, that hurts me is that it result into the write-off of the capital of Lakshmi Vilas Bank, which means that around 93% of the public shareholders would be losing. And by the way, these includes people like foreign institutional investors, insurance companies, retail investors, HNIs, entities like India Bulls, SREI, and prolific Fininvest, as per the statistics on Bloomberg Quint. And more important thing, that's very important, is that amalgamation easy? That's more important. Because amalgamation of two banks is never been easy even outside India. Because this is in accounting parlance, this is known as, how I say in accounting parlance, basically you need to consolidate your books. Consolidation of books of DBS India and Lakshmi Vilas Bank is really tough. And more importantly, what is hurting me is two important questions which not been answered till now in any of the articles. Number one, DBS India is more or less a Singapore-based bank. That's number one. We know Singapore government. Is Singapore government is in sync with DBS India to buy Lakshmi Vilas Bank, irrespective of all the data in the public domain? That's quite surprising, at least to me. And if yes, then which entity of the Singapore government would be funding? Is the government himself funding? GIC would be funding, Temasek would be funding. Who would be funding? Come on, guys, we know Singapore very well. And more important thing that is hurting me, that this is the first time I heard that a non-listed bank is buying a listed bank. Absolutely stunning. A non-listed bank is buying a listed bank. It means that there is a concept in merger and acquisition or amalgamation which is known as swap ratio, and in even I would say an investment banker who is having 4 IQ out of 10 will clearly acknowledge the fact that whenever a non-listed bank buy a listed bank, computation of swap ratio is more tougher than in case a listed bank buy another listed bank. I'm just quoting a hypothetical example. It's a hypothetical example. What would if Kotak Mahindra Bank would be buying Lakshmi Vilas Bank, it would be easy to compute the swap ratio. Example, when Reliance Industries bought the Future Group, that's a separate thing, whatever is going on because of arbitration issue. But computation of the swap ratio is really easy because Future is listed and Reliance is listed. Even in this case, it is also easy that when Reliance bought Netmeds, because basically the principal is listed. When Reliance bought Urban Ladder, principal is listed. So computation of swap ratio is easy, but this is the first time, and in fact, every investment banker will agree to a fact that whenever a non-listed company, non-listed bank buying a listed bank, swap ratio is not easy. It is subject to huge interpretation issues, extremely interpretation issues, and that is when the statistics is like this. Tier 1 capital ratio negative, losses for last 10 quarters, eroding deposit base, high NPA, low provision coverage. It really gets this ugly, yet Lakshmi Vilas Bank powered on, backed up by the promise to inject capital. This is our first and fastest opinion on the Lakshmi Vilas Bank on this news. But guys, let me tell you one thing, this is not going to be easy. Remember that though RBI put this on their website, amalgamation in such cases is not easy, guys. Amalgamation requires hundreds of legal hurdles. Approval from the courts, approval from the regulatory authority, people like Competition Commission of India. So many things are required. Capital is an issue. Tier 1 capital is an issue. Losses of the quarter, high provision ratio. Forget ECL. That is out of scope because people don't understand ECL. And more importantly, a Singapore-based bank is buying Lakshmi Vilas Bank. That is really hitting me, guys. From where you get the money is the government of Singapore, Temasek, GIC, who would be investing the money. Maybe in another few days, the air will clear and we surely let you know. But having said that, I would like to close this video to remind you again. In addition, the draft said that the transfer, according to the draft scheme of amalgamation put out by Reserve Bank of India, the merger will result the entire amount of paid up capital, reserves and surplus of Lakshmi Vilas Bank being written off. In addition to the draft said that the transferor, Lakshmi Vilas Bank, will cease to exist when the merger is operationalized. And by the way, operationalized is not easy. As a result, the shares and the debentures on any exchange will be delisted without any further action. Excuse me, guys. This is, I am 36, turning 37, maybe probably in another 6 months, 9 months. But that is surprising to me is that how come shares and debentures on a stock exchange will delist without any further action? Guys, this is an article on the Bloomberg Quint, and I really admire this article because that's really wrought in the rightest way. And as far as I understand the bank balance sheet, which I think it's really requires a look. Really requires a look. By the way, our hedge fund desk is not worried much. Why? We already quitted Lakshmi Vilas Bank. But I was thinking to buy Lakshmi Vilas Bank. What would if come closer to 8? But having said that, after looking at this article, I'm surely going to be opening the website of Lakshmi Vilas Bank. Why website? Thomson Reuters. I'm going to be opening I'm going to be checking Lakshmi Vilas Bank on Reuters, and let me see, guys, how much capital reserves and everything they do hold. Because now we already sold. Last 2 weeks we sold. We are not worried what would happen tomorrow. Even if it goes to 9, 8, 5, doesn't matter. But whether we are going to be buying or we are not going to be buying, that would be decided today in our analysis to be done on Reuters. This is Rahul from Treasury Consulting. You know our WhatsApp 9818485155.